But do you know who else lives in ice? On ice?
注意事項です。
Kind of works better. Show me.
シュガテン。
Where is it? Don't do this to me. Bro. There it is. Okay, shut up finally. Anyway, last time we played through Chocolat, didn't get stuck on the roof for the first time. I can't believe this. This is the real character growth. Shut up, Dexter. We're not talking about Millie anymore. I didn't even mention her in the transition, so it doesn't make sense. What is wrong with you? I ask that to myself every day. Never mind, I didn't say that. Anyway, Chocolat, her route, her roof. How is it gonna work out in the end? Maybe Corey and Meru are gonna move in with Osono. You know, I was reminded when I uploaded the VOD for this for the last stream, I was reminded of that shitty ass conflict at the end of Meru's route that didn't amount to anything. Shut up, Dexter. I don't want to. Why did you bring it? What? Bro. What? The legendary Hyman update. Oh my god. If you don't know, Dexter makes chatbots. What is wrong with the people who use your chatbots? You know what? That's maybe that's why I don't. No! Do not update the title of the stream. Whatever. Anyway, let's don the appropriate attire and get into it. It works well. I tested it. What do you mean? Which bot did you change the name of to feature that? Or are you talking about the stream title? All of them? Ah, okay. All of your chatbots. Whatever. Either way, let's get into it. Hopefully, I don't say any more ahs and ums as I already have, because that's 4. Maybe 20 if it's only up to 4 ahs and ums. If it's any more, I'm not doing 25, I'm not doing 30, I'm not doing 35, I'm not doing anything like that. I'll just go down to 1. And whatever.
続きからです。
Let's get into
読み
it.
込みますよ。
Enough stalling.
ロードしました。
Shut up, Dexter. Stop talking about that. Stop talking about shit. After giving Chocolat some time to pack her things, we all headed outside to see her off. None of the girls were in much of a rush, though, so we've been standing out here for a while now.
疲れた。
What is?
ショコラのやつ、待ってるのにちっともおしゃべりをやめる気配がない。
Well, she's probably just excited since she's with her friends.
わかっているが、いつもはちゃんと周りは見てて、僕が待ってればサクッと切り上げるんだがな。あんなパワフルな妹は初めてだ。
Well, that's also because of Crow. He shrugged his shoulders in resignation. Part of him looks annoyed by all this, but he seems happy enough. He seems happy as well. It's pretty easy to guess why he feels that way. But I didn't mute before sneezing. His sister, who's usually a very thoughtful girl, is suddenly being selfishly negligent of her surroundings. However, it's only because she found a pair of close friends. What if males had a hymen? Okay, there are only two places where a hymen would be. It would be in the penis, or it'd be in the arse. But both instances, both of them would break the first time you take a shit and the first time you piss. So, you know, there isn't any other place a hymen would be. Actually, now that I'm thinking about these two, there's something I've been thinking about ever since this afternoon. I wasn't planning on asking about it per se, but this might be the best opportunity. Say, I'm not gonna answer anything you say. I'm not gonna answer that. Say, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but could I maybe ask you something about your sister?
Oh?
It's regarding your mother, actually.
Oh.
Even without asking the actual question, he already seemed to guess what I was driving at. Not that I'm surprised. If the situation with their mother is what I think it is, then
ショコラのまあ正確には僕の母上でもあるが、ショコラには辛い思いをさせた。あいつが7つの頃かな。まさかあんなことになるなんて。
I see.
ああ。
I knew it. The mother is.
まさか中世史の研究で国際的な大発見をして一躍世界を股にかける研究者になるだなんて。
Wait, what?
何分歴史というのは人類共通の命題だけにどこの国からも講演の依頼が殺到している。そういえば今年に入ってまだ一度も会っていないっけ。いつかお体を崩されないか心配だ。
What do you think he was talking about, Crow? You can't have a sad story in Sugar Sweet Temptation. They already had a sad enough story about their business closing down in the common route.
どうかしたか？
So your mother's still alive then?
ああ、働きすぎて体に差し障らないかいつも心配しているがな。幸い元気だけはネージュ家一同有り余っている。体を崩されたという話は聞かない。
I'm honestly a little ashamed of myself. Talk about having an overactive imagination.
あいつこの町の歴史の話をしていなかったか？
Oh, yeah, she has. This game could have been a slutty game with the name Temptation. Shut the fuck up, bro. This is going too far. After a brief tangent, he returns to my original question.
母上の影響だ。昔からパティシエになりたがっていたんだが、歴史についてで何かすごい発見をしたら母上に褒めてもらえるかもって。
I see. So her interest in history goes beyond mere curiosity, it seems.
そうそう。パティシエの修行とか言ってよくあんたに会いに行ってるよな。迷惑じゃないだろうか。
Oh, not at all. If anything, I've been learning more from her.
そうか。先生してもらってる山田シェフが今忙しいから他で勉強できる場所が欲しいらしくて。
Guys, this is what happens when Dexter's the only person in the chat. Alright, so if you're watching the VOD, Please, I need someone else here. I don't want Dexter to be the only one talking because he talks about this shit. What do you mean, sugar sweet sluts? Who the fuck thinks that name?
そういえばいつもそういう時は一人で自習してるのになんであんたにはまさか
It's probably because Mara and Corey are here, right? So she can spend more time with them. The problem is, this isn't even going to be on my main channel. So I can't even use the excuse. I can't even say this to my main channel. This is going on the VOD channel.
そう思っておこうか。
お兄ち
Just say, Chocolate skips over to us.
ゃん、お待たせです。
ああ、おいとましよう。
クロウさん、明日も来ていいです？やっ
Of course, you're always welcome.
た
With that, the siblings head home together. Looking back, it feels like Chocolate and I spend pretty much the whole day together. I hope she wasn't bothered by that. At least on my end, I really enjoyed spending the day with her. I hope she comes back again soon.
ショコラ、明日も遊びに行くのか？
はい、そのつもりです。メルや氷にもそう言ったし、クロウさんもどうぞって言ってたし。
Now, that's the real reason she wants to go back.
あんなでかい弟ができるのか。困ったものだ。
Giant dude? How much taller is he than you? From the portraits, it doesn't seem like he's that much taller, considering your head is outside of the is off the screen.
明日も楽しみです。
Also, you're French. You'd have better genes than him. Unless French people are also actually no, French people are also short. I'm not referring to Napoleon, by the way. That's a very big misconception that's been predicated through history books. Through no, never mind. It's now the following morning. Japanese. Well, yeah, they're half, but just as I'm in the middle of opening the store, a familiar face walks into the kitchen.
おはようございます。
Like, if you didn't know that they were French as well, yeah. Wow, you're early today.
は
Who's the most petite race? What do you mean race? If it's race, it's Asians. If you're talking about nationality, maybe Koreans? Depends on what you mean by petite. The others haven't even come downstairs yet. If I knew she was going to be here this early, I would have just told her to stay the night yesterday.
い。何かお手伝いすることあります？
Tiny. Probably... I'm thinking either the Philippines or somewhere around Southeast Asia, at least. Maybe Indonesia. I don't know what you're confused about. Asians are short, but Southeast Asians are much shorter. You're saying tiny. You're also you also need to account for height, because if we're talking about weight, then the Africans are disproportionately advantaged in this situation. Because they are tall, lanky, very anorexic. I didn't say that. Sorry. I'm actually just finishing up in here.
あ
I do still need to clean up out here, though. If you'd like to help with that.
あ、はい。
Of course, I'd never expect a guest to help with something like this. But it's better than leaving her alone inside. So here we are.
雪がいっぱい。大変です。
Indeed. Normally I can just sweep the snow to the side with a broom, but since we weren't open yesterday, it's piled up a bit more than usual. Where's Komachi? Yeah, I thought she'd be out here. Once we've finished clearing away the snow, I use an outdoor mop to clean the dirt away and walkway. The dirt off the walkway.
おはようございます。あら？
Well, there she is. I say her name and she appears.
おはようございます。お手伝い？店長代理はお寝坊さんなのに偉いわね。はい。
Over these past few weeks, Chocolate and Komachi have grown quite familiar with one another. Now that we're finished up out front, the cake's baking in the kiln should be just about done.
はい。おはよ
Where's the Komachi route? That's what I've been saying.
う。すいません。お休みだからって寝すぎました。
No need to apologize. I'm sure you needed the rest anyway. Anyway, your breakfast is ready. Mira and Corey eventually make it downstairs, dressed in their work uniforms.
飲み物何にします？ショコラ。早いですね。
Uh-oh. Fuck! You don't hear that. You didn't hear that. What, audio? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, anyway. Oh, hello, Kong. Let's look up the shortest shortest nationality. Shortest nation in the world. Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste. Wait, I need to show the map. Map? The graph. Where is it? I can just do this. See? I told you. Shortest? Southeast Asia. Second shortest? Southeast Asia. So, I was thinking 3 foot. Who? What's this? Well, Dexter wanted to know which nation is the most petite. And if we're talking about height only, Africa has the advantage. But if we're also including height, Southeast Asia has also an advantage. Height plus weight. So, I wouldn't say Timor-Leste. And I don't want to keep saying that name, especially in the way I'm saying it. But Southeast Asia is definitely in the ballpark for most petite. What about lightest nation? I didn't say that. I didn't spell it right. List of sovereign states by body mass index. That's not what I was looking for. Also has it. Okay, it's fixed itself, so at least you get to hear, listen to the audio. Heaviest countries, US. Congratulations. Lightest. Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Eritrea, North Korea, Ethiopia, Congo, DRC. Look, makes sense? Yeah. So, if we're basing it off of height plus weight, the most petite country is Bangladesh. Actually, no. It's Nepal. Because Vietnam is too tall. But they do have... Yeah, no, it's Nepal. Nepal wins. Objectively speaking... Yeah. Which country has the smallest breast? Oh god, why are we bringing this up? Which country has the smallest cup size? There's a fucking thing about it too. Breast size by country. So, let's see. Right. Well, here it's Ethiopia. Interesting. China? I think that's what I'm getting here. I hate US women. No, you hate US women that are online chronically. Okay. When it comes to which country has the smallest breasts, it's either China or Indonesia. So, if we're going back to here, Indonesia's 11th here. Bangladesh is here as well. So we're going back to most petite. If we're including small cup size, it's Bangladesh and Nepal again. They have the same two of these things, whatever the fuck. I don't understand the difference between average cup size and average cup size, well, AVGHT. Right, I don't understand. It's like, some of these don't even have an average in world data compared. Interesting. Shut up. So Nepal is the most petite. The Bangladesh and Nepal are the legal lollies? Yes. Time to move, bro. Shut up. They also aren't Southeast Asian, like I thought. But I did say that the shortest people would be in Southeast Asia. So the point still stands. It's just that when it comes to overall petiteness, it's South Asia. White people are usually tall. So, you know, if you want to go for short white people, there's definitely a few you could find in the VTubing industry, in the VTubing space, but they're kind of hard to find. No, I was talking about Shondo, but both of them work. White/African and quite tall, yeah. They kind of had to be. But yeah, Shondo was the perfect example of that crazy bitch. Well, yeah, but she's based. So why wouldn't you want her? Wait, no, I shouldn't say that.
氷、宮についてます。
I think it makes sense that Gura and Shondo are based. Asian countries are more on the short side. Yeah. The four of us gather around a table for breakfast. I was joking on the IRL people. Listen, I'm just saying that when it comes to lollies, Shondo and Gura are based because they are IRL lollies. So they understand that when someone calls someone else a PDF file online for liking lollies, you know, I didn't say, you didn't hear me say that. You didn't hear me burp. I didn't burp. You didn't, whatever. The four of us gather around a table for breakfast. I decided to go with the simple bacon and eggs this morning, with a side of toast. I hope that's okay.
いいよいいよ。シンプルなの大好き。ジャム取って。
Shut up, Dexter. Better go straight for the toast. Straight for her toast. Well, I brought the jam out just in case. I actually brought out something else as well. Actually, I was hoping you'd try some of this butter with your toast today. What do you say?
バターって甘くないもん。
I know, but our butter's actually a little different than usual today, see? See?
え？あれ？バターってこれですか？
As she looks at the small white clump at the center of the table, Corey tilts her head in confusion. The chocolate, meanwhile, seems to have figured it out right away. I made it myself.
ああ、生クリームをブンブンするやつ。
That's right. After my discussion with chocolate on butter versus whipped cream yesterday, I figured I'd try my hand at making some. Really though, all I did was use a mixer on some cream until it broke down, then added some salt. It was pretty easy. Yeah. He said it's pretty easy, but if he didn't have the mixer, it would be an arduous task, let's just say.
いいね。これ美味しいんだよね。
Yeah, fuck no.
高級なホテルとかで出すあれですよね。
If you've ever tried to churn your own
作
butter,
れるものなんですか？
it takes a lot of work if you don't have the right equipment. If you're doing it by hand, I mean.
簡単だよ。それに酸化だっけ？する前だから味も美味しいの。まあうちは あえて酸化したのっぺりした市販のバターがケーキ作りに合ってて大量に仕入れてるから普段使うのはそっちなんだけど。
You need the equipment? Yeah, you need a stand mixer,
へえ。
which is what they have. Naturally, Meru, Patissier's granddaughter, would know such things, but that doesn't stop Corey from looking surprised about it.
あ
Well, yeah, of course Corey would be surprised about it. Meru doesn't bake her own. Meru doesn't bake. Chocolate also looks pleasantly surprised but for a different reason. Also, the same reason. I also made use of what you told me yesterday, Chocolate. You really know your stuff.
あ、はい。ありがとうございます。
He smells looking thoroughly pleased.
じゃあ今日はこれにしよう。これプラスジャムってのも美味しいしね。
Now I want sweets. I just had breakfast, so I'm not hungry. Picking up a piece of toast, she spreads some of my homemade butter on it. Corey and Chocolate follow suit.
いただきまーす。いただきます。いただきます。
The three girls bring their pieces of toast up to their mouths in unison.
はあ。とろける。久しぶりこの感じ。ホテルで食べるのよりもっと軽い感じです。本当に作りたてですね。
Well, yeah, of course it'd be lighter. It's churned cream. I'll BRB to grab milk. I have some cookies in a Ziploc bag. I have cookies on my bed at the moment, but yeah. It sure is. I only made it 15 minutes ago. Looks like my butter was a hit. As the only other person who knows why I suddenly decided to make this butter, the Chocolat lets out a mischievous giggle. After breakfast, I headed back to the kitchen to finish baking. In the meantime, Meru and Corey focus on cleaning the dining area. Because Chocolate's here, things have been going especially smoothly in the kitchen this morning.
あの新鮮なバターはケーキには使わないですね。
Nope. As Meru was explaining earlier, the more oxidized kind gives the cake a more balanced flavor and texture.
もう新鮮なだけじゃダメなのですね。勉強になります。
I am too. Every day I've been learning something new. I've really come to enjoy working alongside her. With each passing day, I become more used to working in a kitchen, and she gets closer to her goal of becoming a patissier. At the end of the day, we're both heading for the same place, and it's encouraging knowing that we can walk that path together. All in all, I'm glad she's here with me.
なんです？
Oops. I was definitely staring at her just now. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I was just thinking how smoothly this morning's going. This morning's gone with you here. Well, I suppose it's only natural when you bring in an extra set of hands. But still, I feel like there's more to it than that. It's hard to say how or why, but at any rate, thank you for always being such a great help. I really genuinely appreciate it. Damn, this is Riz, and he doesn't even know it. Because he's a protagonist of a visual novel. Chocolat blushes profusely at my words. Did I ham that up a bit too much, perhaps? I feel like I'm going to make things awkward if I keep talking, so I should probably get back to work. But then I notice Chocolat fidgeting, and she tries to push out a response.
ロさんが言うなら私毎日でも。クロウくん、大変大変。うわっ、びっくりした。
Well, indeed.
びっくりしました。
Between the two girls' sudden outbursts, all three of us end up jumping in surprise. What's the matter, Meru?
今緊急でケーキ注文したいって電話が来てるの。
As in, they need it for today? Need it for today?
今日の2時。
That's not going to be easy. Glancing past Meru, I see Corey in the other room, still holding the phone up to her ear. The order has quite literally just come in. Typically, we ask our customers to give us at least a day's notice when placing orders. We technically can have them accepted same day order. We technically can have accepted same day orders, but only if we can deliver them after 5 p.m. It's currently 10:30, and they need it ready for 2 p.m. That doesn't leave us much time at all. How far away?
ここからだと30分くらい。
Yikes. In other words, we'd need to be ready for 1:30, which only gives us 3 hours. If we accept this, it's going to be tight. What's the order for?
ショートケーキをマウントホールで。
What?
無理だよね。
Yeah.
マウントビッグサイズ。
Big size.
うちで一番大きいサイズ。ウェディングケーキとかに使うサイズです。おお。
You order it a few hours before. Bro, you order it a few days in advance. If it's for a big event, you order that shit a month in advance. Sorry, girls. I don't think it's feasible. At that size, the sponge alone would take 3 hours to bake.
焦がさないよ。じっくりじわじわ温めてかなきゃだもんね。
In short, we have no choice but to refuse.
でも、この子たち。
Who? Kids.
2丁目にある聖マリア養育院からのご注文なんです。
Okay.
今日、長年お世話になったママ先生が退陣なさるとかで、子供たちが感謝の意味でパーティーを開く予定だったと、そこで出すケーキなんだそうです。
So you're saying that they had 2 weeks notice? You're saying that they only decided to order the cake today, and what did I miss? Another dumb conflict, but not as dumb as Mary's route. It's just, yeah.
本当は向こうの子たちで焼く予定だったんだけど、朝からやってて失敗しちゃったんだって。それで最後の手段ってことでうちに。
After hearing all that, I'd feel terrible about turning them down. I don't think the kids understand. If they want a sponge cake, that shit's gonna take time. Especially if it's a big sponge cake. Who gives a shit? Well, the way they're phrasing it, it's the kids who made the order. So, you're going to... The game is like, you should excuse them for how stupid they are because they're just kids. But, like... No? I understand that they wanted to make the cake themselves, but are you saying that they didn't try to make a cake before the day of their retirement because they were like, nah, we got this? Especially because if I listen really carefully, I think I can hear some children crying through the phone. They're probably really sad that their cake didn't work out. And right now, we're their last hope. Darn it. I don't want to say no, but time's really working against us here. Unless there is one way we could do it. But we'd have to cheat a bit.
裏技
Well, the way you can cheat is if you make smaller... If you can make smaller sponge cakes instead of one big sponge cake, then the cooking time will drop dramatically.
ビスキュイをブロックにしていくつも作るんだよ。
What did I say? What is Crow's suggestion though?
バームクーヘンに使った型があるでしょ。あれを円形に一周10個並べて、あとはクリームでごまかしちゃう。
I still don't know how to pronounce that word.
中まで含めて15個あればビスキュイはできる。
Luckily, the kiln's large enough to bake all 15 at once. And this is just an estimate, but it should take about an hour and a half. The only problem is...
やったことあります？
No, I haven't. See? So I was right. Now they were gonna cheat. I was hoping they had a better suggestion, but no. They didn't. When I said we'd have to cheat, I wasn't using that word lightly. This definitely isn't something I would normally do. And I'd only been here for a month. So I've never tried anything like this. This is such a dumb plot reason. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. Because the kids should at least... The kids would at least be smart enough to try to bake the cake a day before. And then realize that they couldn't do it. So then they would call in early. So there wouldn't be an issue. But no. They were baking the cake for however long. They must be brain dead. You know what? Maybe that's... maybe that's why they're orphans. Never mind. To be frank, the odds of this actually working are quite low. However...
できるならやりましょ
う。
ショコラ、きっとできます。クロウさんなら。それに。
Okay, well, less validating and more baking. So get to it, you shits.
ママ先生への感謝の気持ちのケーキ。私、作りたいです。クロウくん。
Darn it. Even if the odds are stacked against us, I feel exactly the same as her. I want to bake this cake. Okay, let's do it.
よし、受けたよ、アリちゃん。本日14時、マウントホールのショートケーキ、受けたまわりました。ご注文ありがとうございます。
I can't take this seriously. Well, you were here during Meru's route, so you understand how dumb the pot could get. Corey puts down the phone, gathering up all the tools I'll need. I bring them over to the sink and begin washing them. The job itself shouldn't be overly difficult. Our real enemy here is time, and we're in for a mighty race. Just speedrun it. The clock strikes 11. We only have 3 hours until our scheduled delivery time. The kiln's fired. The kiln's finished preheating, so I'm going to start baking now. Can you get the icing ready for me?
オッケー。僕はイチゴだよね。スライスでいい？
Yeah, but only slice the big ones. If there are any small ones, just mash them into jam as needed. I have some leftover from this morning too. So I'll use those ones first. I'll be using the jam as a topping. That's a unique feature of our Everest cakes. Oh, but don't forget to add potato starch to thicken it, which just leaves...
硬さ調節ならできます。任せてください。
It is a business. If they fuck up, then it affects the business. I can't believe how triggered I am. Yeah. But this could be a big boon to the business too if they succeed. I'll have to adjust the heat of the kiln purely by eye, so I'll be glued to the front of the oven for the next while. Look, the reward outweighs the risk, I think, but logically they wouldn't. I mean, true. This could backfire immensely, even if they succeed, or it could work out incredibly. I'll leave the rest to you girls, got it?
Ah!
But isn't the business whole thing to do everything they can for the customers? Except, Dexter, the thing you aren't understanding is that they have clear parameters as to... They have clear rules or guidelines as to when you can order and when you can expect to get your cake. This customer, it's customers, it's a foster family, doesn't fit within those parameters. Their requirements don't fit in those parameters. They did not give Folkroll enough time. It is like me asking a cake and expecting it in an hour. Yeah.
Konnichiwa. あ、いらっしゃいませ。
While the girls set to work making strawberry jam, I focus all of my attention on the kiln. The intensity of the flames can vary inside it, making the distribution of heat uneven throughout. In other words, even if I distribute the cakes evenly within the kiln, they'll still bake unevenly without any intervention on my part. I've also decided to bake 20 cakes instead of our minimum requirement of 15, according to accounting for a margin of error. As an unfortunate side effect of this, the kiln is fairly overcrowded, further increasing the possibility of individual differences between cakes. And as the one controlling the heat in the kiln, minimizing those differences falls entirely on me. At least give it a logical plot and not the power of friendship. Make it a logical conflict. Luckily, I do have one thing going for me. The type of cake we're baking. If there was such a thing as perfect cake, shortcake would undoubtedly be it. No, perfect cake is cheesecake. Never mind. It's simple, easy to make, and pleasing to look at. But where it really excels is in the taste department. And the three things that give that unparalleled taste are the icing, the sponge, and the strawberries. I don't know if you're talking about taste department. Cheesecake got that taste to top in droves. Never mind. These three elements are all you need. Nothing more, nothing less. So when it comes to the flavor, we can rest easy and allow that simplicity to do the heavy lifting for us. Give me ice cream cake. Ice cream cake is too much, though. Our goal thus becomes quite simple. Make it bringing those three ingredients together. It shouldn't be all that difficult. As long as we don't make any mistakes, we can absolutely do this. Pudding cake is a thing? I think you're just thinking of pudding. You're just thinking of a big pudding. No pressure, of course.
腕が疲れたよ。
What was the quote-unquote cake you brought up before? With fucking the dirt cake or whatever? The Oreo cake in a bucket? Pudding cake. Fuck! Dirt pudding. Yeah, that's what it was. Pudding cake. Is it just a cake that has the texture of pudding? What is pudding cake? Pudding cakes offer 2 treats in one and consists of 2 layers, a comforting gooey chocolate cake and a thick chocolatey sauce that tastes just like an old-fashioned chocolate pudding. This cake goes by many names: chocolate upside down cake, hot fudge pudding cake, brownie pudding cake, or self-saucing pudding cake. There's a custard pudding cake too. Right. Valid, I guess. But yeah.
クリーム作るだけで大変です。
At least you didn't bring up the one that they always bring up in this fucking visual novel, which is the Mille Fule or whatever. Because it's technically considered a cake, even though it's also a pastry. It is a pastry. Mostly, it is pastry. There's also tiramisu, if you're into chocolate, or there is the crepe cake that I really want to try, which is just a bunch of crepes, which I already love, stacked on top of each other with cream in between, and yeah, pudding cake cups. Right.
かき混ぜるだけなんだけど、そのかき混ぜるのが大変。メール、ちょっと休憩してください。混ぜ方が荒くなってクリームがふわっとしないです。そうだね。ちょっと休む。ショコラは平気？私はよくやってますから。
She takes over for Meru, stirring the icing with a practiced hand.
おお、軽快な手さばき。
With practiced hands.
慣れてるな。僕よりうまいよ。
The moral of this story is kids can get whatever they want. Yeah, if kids can get whatever they want if they're sad enough. They literally did the puppy dog eyes through the camera, through the phone, not the camera. All right, girls, the cakes are ready, so I'm going to start taking them out now. I open the kiln. Because of the uneven distribution of heat, some of the cakes aren't quite ready yet. In taking the ones out that are, I leave the rest to cook in the residual heat of the kiln a little longer. Removing the sponges from the mold, I cut off any burnt bits and give them to our resident burnt bit garbage disposal. They have a garbage disposal? Ah, it's Meru. Of course it.
作るの手伝うときはこれが美味しいんだよね。
Why did I not think it was Meru? Also, those burnt bits would still be hot as fuck. The chocolate, if you would.
はい。
While Meru disposes of the burnt bits, I give the rest of the cakes to Chocolat. Preparing a large silver tray to put them on, she slices them into thirds horizontally and begins arranging them into an even circular pattern.
マーチサイズ。この大きさは初めてですね。
I might be cold-hearted, bitch, but I say order it earlier next time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had however many weeks before they had the cake, could order the cake. Silk pie. What is silk pie? I don't think it's French silk pie. Right. French silk cheesecake pie. Interesting. What is it? Why is it called French silk pie? The characteristic is definitely worth highlighting. Most French silk pie recipes call for raw eggs, but no, that's not okay. That's specifically for that. Eggs, cream, chocolate, sugar, butter. That's most cakes. French silk pie is just a chocolate mousse consisting of eggs, cream, chocolate, blah, blah. Oh. Burger King's Hershey pies are so good. Yeah, I've tried a Hershey pie through Hungry Jack's. It was not good. The chocolate. I thought people were joking when people compared Hershey's to vomit, but that, yeah, it just didn't taste good. No wonder people in America think Mr. Beast bars taste good, because the only comparison they have are Hershey's bars. And like, how do you make them so shit? Neither have I. Even if the process to make it is the same, the sheer size of it makes it feel like a completely different cake.
ですね。
Edwards chocolate cream pie. Listen, the only Edwards I know is the alcohol, is the homebrew. I wouldn't call it a homebrew. It's the alcohol flavoring brand. There's also, what is it? There's another thing too. Our chocolate is pretty good, that's why. Well, yeah, because we have actual ingredients in our chocolate. Like cream. Cadbury does not... Cadbury... You cannot compare Cadbury chocolate to Hershey's. That's all I'm gonna say. They're on completely different tiers. Yeah, it really does. With the perimeter of the cake sorted, now we just need to fill in the middle. Right on cue, the other cakes finished baking as well. I take them out, plopping them out of their molds. I reach for my bread knife. Then I cut the sponges into relevant sized pieces, such that we can fill in the middle of the cake. Finally, I begin arranging the pieces inside the circle.
そっか、柱のまま並べるよりそっちの方が自然だね。
I would have left them whole if I would have left them whole if we only had the 15 cakes. But since all 30 came out fairly well, I had a lot of extra to work with. Our Everest-sized cake has a total diameter of a little over 80 centimeters. Excuse me? And a height of 30 centimeters. Excuse me? The outer cakes that form the perimeter all have an exact diameter of 20 centimeters each, leaving 40 centimeters worth of diameter unaccounted for. When they said Everest, they weren't joking. Luckily, we have 10 or more cakes at our disposal, so filling that gap will be a relatively painless effort, a relatively painless process. Once I'd arranged the first layer up to a height of 10 centimeters, I turned to Chocolat. I saw a bot, total 600 chats, 8,000 messages. Interesting. Now for a layer of icing.
お願いします。私はストロベリーを担当します。
Sure. Because the piecemeal nature of the cake's arrangement, the edges are a bit jagged. With that in mind, I use the icing to smooth it out. Listen, all I'm going to say is, you better hope that you better hope the cakes are cooled enough, or else that icing's gonna melt. After I finish with that, Chocolat follows behind me with a layer of sliced strawberries. Because listen, all I'm gonna say is they don't have enough time to wait for the cake to cool down enough. If it was the Everest, if it was the full Everest cake, I guess you could, yeah. We repeat that process again, but on the third layer, we'll have to take a slightly different approach.
ああ、なんか形になってきたよ。
It sure is, but
ここからが本番ですね。
yes, I'm going to start the nappe layer now, but I'll need your help to make sure the cake doesn't fall apart during it. How are your arms feeling, Mary?
十分休憩できた。
Good. I don't know how much icing I'm going to need. So, could you make another batch for us?
オッケー、作りまくるよ。余っちゃったら自分で食べるし。
I get they're essentially making a wedding cake, but I wouldn't want to call it I wouldn't call it Everest cake if you're doing that. Can you help her, Chocolat?
はい。
There's cum on her face. I mean, for a cake made of multiple parts such as this, the icing will quite literally be what holds it all together. I've napped countless cakes over this past month, and the process for this one shouldn't be any different. It will, however, be significantly more difficult. Fuck. Also, with my Yuzuki Lolly little sister bot, I accidentally used the tags nightgown and sailor school uniform together, and it looks amazing. What? The massive size is one thing, but I also have this cake's unevenness to contend with. The fact is, it's significantly more difficult to nappe a bumpy surface than a flat one. The biggest challenge of all, though, will be ensuring I apply equal pressure across the entire cake. As this cake is uniquely composed of several smaller sponges, if I apply too much pressure to one of them, it will cause that sponge to sink. If that happens, the cake will look uneven. In other words, I need to have an extremely light yet infallible and precise technique.
うい。
Everything okay over there?
大丈夫です。ちゃんとできてます。
I wish they failed for drama. That's not gonna happen. This is too slice of life for that to happen. In such a highly tense situation as this, I'm really thankful to have Chocolat here with me. Our individual tasks demand a great deal of focus for each of us, and yet we're also working side by side, so we can't help but be highly conscious of each other's presence. And neither of us want to be the one to slip up. Immersed in that healthy tension, one singular thought repeats in my mind over and over. That really looks like cum on her face. I don't want to look bad in front of her.
できた。はい。
Good work, girls. The napping is officially complete. I'll handle the finishing touches. You girls take a well-deserved break.
はい。
And thus they start to and thus what started as a disparate pile of sponges came together into a single uniform mountain of cake, held together by a sea of white icing. All that's left is to decorate it. Look, all I'm gonna say is, if you're trying to make a bunch of small cakes, look like one big cake, it's not just icing you need. You also want fondant. That would make it a lot easier to do if you also used fondant. Because it would just be it's basically just like a white sheet of, I wouldn't call it icing. It's just a white sheet of stuff that you can put over the cake to make it look uniform. I posted the image in Discord art. What'd you post in Discord art? Right. That definitely looks like a nightgown sailor school uniform. Since we don't have piping tips for a cake this big, I use an icing spatula to shape 20 knobs of icing into the cake's perimeter. Wait, did I say it? Oh, yeah. All that's left is to decorate it. And then I pour a thin layer of strawberry jam we'd made into the center.
Oi!
Mara skips over to the kiln and turns on the ventilation fan. You didn't have it on before? As she does, a rush of chilly winter air flows into the kitchen from outside. It's freezing, of course, but it also hardens the jam in no time at all, which is the reason she opened it. Wouldn't you also want to do that to cool down the cake so that the icing wouldn't melt off of the hot cake? There, all finished.
Yatta! 時間は?
We all look at the clock. It's exactly 1:40 p.m. Well, you better get there as quickly as you can. You only had 30 minutes from 2 p.m. Darn it. We're 10 minutes late.
なので、お園さんに車を持ってきてもらいました。
Oh, okay, so that was never going to be an issue.
たく、パシリじゃないんだよ、私じゃ。
Okay. I was waiting for Komachi to contribute. Why is Osono here suddenly?
お題にとびっきり美味しいケーキ、ご馳走してくれんだろうね。
歩いて届けるなら30分だけど、車なら10分です。運びましょう。
Thanks, you two. You're both lifesavers. Putting a lid on the tray, which doubled as a box. I carried it out to the car. Drop it. I was gonna say that if they were carrying it by foot, but they're doing it. They're going to the car. I head outside and load it into the back of the car, waiting out front.
引き渡しに行ってきます。お店はお願いしますね。ああ、僕も行くよ。オリちゃんとお園さんじゃ積み下ろしできないでしょ。では、クロウさんとショコラさんは休んでてください。
We will, and thanks. It's now 1:45. We made it. But what the fuck was the point of Komachi being there? She just shows up in folk roll for no reason. The tension leaves our bodies all at once. Thank you for all your work back there. We wouldn't have made it in time without you.
でも不思議ですね。普通のケーキとは全然作り方が違うのに、出来上がったものはほとんど同じで。
In terms of looks, at least. It's certainly going to feel different when they start eating it, given the piecemeal nature of the sponge. But if we were only judging its appearance, you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference between that and our normal cakes. Okay, well, if they're going to complain about the nature of the sponge cake, that's on them, bro. You did the best you could. That's on them for not ordering it sooner. They can't have their cake and eat it too. Pun intended. Complained we need drama. Yeah. It should be fine taste-wise, at least. The sponge should stick together more as it continues to rest too. So it won't fall apart while they're eating it. Anyway, regardless of how we went about it, we came through for them in the end. I think we should be proud. Especially you, Chocolat. Without your help, I seriously never would have made it in time. That applies to Meru as well, of course, and to Koru for having the foresight to call Osono over here. And to Komachi for showing up for a single frame. But in the end, it was Chocolat's help that made all the difference. Honestly, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, I couldn't have done it without you. I'm really happy you were there. Chocolat.
今は営業時間中でいいのよね?
Get the fuck out of here, Komachi! You're cock blocking them! Komachi, apologies. We didn't realize you were here. And yes, we're absolutely still open. Not to mention, even though we just made it through an incredibly stressful event, we're actually heading into the busiest time of the day. If Chocolate had a dick, he would be sucking it right now. True! Please come on in. What can we get for you today?
朝は抹茶ブランだったから、お昼は...
So this is your second visit today. I quickly switched gears and put on my customer service cap. What is their eating plans? Okay, no, it's just Komachi. She eats too much cake.
養育院の子たち、喜んでくれてよかったね。
Cake for breakfast, cake for lunch. Yeah, that's Komachi.
はい。運んできた店員が一緒になってケーキを食べ出した時は絶対怒られると思いましたが、喜んでいたので、なんか OK な空気になって助かりました。
How is she still alive? Yeah, she has a black hole in her stomach.
美味しかった。ほんと、クロウくん様々だよ。今日みたいな無茶な注文、おじいちゃんでも無理だったかも。プロの視点に徹すれば、断るべき注文でしたから。でもそれじゃ、ケーキを食べられない子が出る。
Well, maybe they should learn from that mistake.
ケーキは一つでも多く作られた方が世界が幸せになっていいもんね。メルさんのその謎のスケールの大きさ、素敵です。ありがたいと言うなら、クロウさんだけじゃなく。
Shut up, Dexter!
ショコラもだね。ショコラさんには何かお返しを考えた方がいいかもしれません。居候のクロウさんにすら無茶なお願いだったんですし。ショコラにお返しか。いいかも。
I don't like that look on your face right now. After an incredibly hectic morning, I was expecting the craziness to carry over into our usual afternoon rush. Much to my surprise though, the rest of the day was relatively slow, right up until closing time. Chocolat stuck around the entire time, helping out as she usually does.
お疲れ様。疲れました。
A foursome. In the end, we decided to stay for dinner. She decided to stay for dinner.
ショコラさん、今日は泊まっていけますか？はい、よろしくお願いします。ちょうどいいね。
I've noticed that I started chatting with femboy chatbots while using a lolly POV. Excuse me? At least use a male POV. What's Mira grinning about over there? Wearing a slightly troubled expression, Corey continues.
ですね。今日泊まるということは、当然明日は朝からですよね。朝、なんです？
That would be gay. My brother in Christ. It's already gay. You're talking to a femboy chatbot. What do you mean?
クロウくんに付き合うんだよね。はい、ご迷惑でなければ。そこで朗報。
She proclaims loudly, slapping her hands against the table.
明日月曜日、ここフォルクロールは臨時休業を取ることにしました。
They look like a cute girl, so then it wouldn't be gay if it's male POV.
What?
I'm sorry. We're closed tomorrow. That's news to me.
もともと月曜日は週で一番お客さん来ない日だからね。たまにこうして臨時休業を取る日はあるんです。特に月に一度煙突を掃除してもらわないといけないので。
What the fuck? Oh, that makes sense. A Falkroll's kiln, which is attached to our chimney, is a traditional charcoal one. Kong, don't worry about it. Dexter, you've met Pontus. Yeah, that's his name, definitely. And because of that, soot can build up inside of it. Can build up inside if it isn't cleaned out regularly. I'm not sure. The return of Tuna, yeah. I guess not. Yeah. How have you been? I've been fine. Pontus sounds familiar. You've been. You were definitely here. You just weren't mod back then. What do you mean back to? What do you mean back to lolly femboys? That's an oxymoron. Why, Kong? Why did you redeem? Perfect timing? Since when? You motherfucker. Alright. This is not lolly POV, alright? This is just Oni-chan. Why? Why did you redeem the other two? Fuck you! Fuck off! Alright, first there's Oni-chan! And then there's...
私たちにはあんまり関係ないですけど。
Shut up! I wasn't done yet! 239,000 berries. Fucking Christ. And then there's... Ooh, woo. And then the last one is You've missed so much. I'm not surprised I've missed a bunch. And then lolly RR, that's not how it works. Lollies don't RR. How long has it been? It's been like fucking what, 2 years? Yeah, around 2 years. And then you've got wait, no, that's no, that's never mind. Whatever, I did it. Just too deep of a voice. This is particularly problematic for us because the soot can stain the sponge during the baking process. Well, we could wipe it off in small amounts. We're really just better off having someone clean it whenever it gets bad. I went to an anime con and think I'm a cosplayer now. Look, as long as you don't go down the same route as, oh fuck, who is that guy? The Cloud9 guy. The League of Legends cosplayer that was on C9. I need you to be Hifumi? Fuck no. Alright, because you have class.
まあ仕方ないよね。本当は日曜日にこれ入れてお休みにしたいけど、日曜日にお店を休むのもなんだし。
Gabby and I broke up. Damn, was oh! I was gonna say, was that before you became a cosplayer or after? How? Hang on. Why? I know you say because Trump won, but that isn't enough of a reason. This series of events is weird and complicated. I mean, I understand that she was a fucking, you know, and I understand that you are a, you know, we both were. But like, yeah. It's our busiest day of the week after all.
でもクロウくんは丸1日オフだよ。にしししし。自動的にショコラムだね。まあ、2人で適当に潰しててよ。
Right. We broke up because she thought I didn't vote. Yeah, of course, right? Because... Wait, what are you... Women, am I right, guys? And I told her a week before I didn't want to vote, and she accepted that. Of course she did. She accepted it because she's disillusioned to the fact that Kamala Harris isn't popular. But then freaked out because Trump won. Like, the writing was on the wall if you weren't delusional. If you are delusional. Regardless of how unpopular Trump may have been, Kamala Harris was the worst possible candidate the Democrats could have ever picked. The only reason they picked her is because she's a woman and black / Indian, depending on where they were in the country. Can't say I was expecting this. I'm still a little confused, but Mary's the acting manager here, so I'm not going to argue her decision. Fuck! Then I got into cosplay after because we were planning a Rogue with Gambit thing. Ah. I'm curious how Chocolat will respond to this, though. She was never obligated to stay here and help in the first place, so she might just choose to leave. What do you think, Chocolat? Do you still want to stick around here tomorrow? I said fuck it and continued to do it. Then I ran into her at a con 2 months later. Oof. Oof. Yikes. Hope you meet someone better. This is the problem. There are a lot of based women. But a lot of cosplayers are not based women. She wasn't bad, but she's not the brightest. You can say that about most Democrats. I don't know what to, never mind.
クロスさんにお邪魔とか。
Remember the first time we broke up? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I wouldn't worry about that. I'd be happy to spend it with you. It's not like I have anything else planned. I thought I'd be working tomorrow. Would you like to go out on the town together again? Look, Tuna, all I'm gonna say is, you aren't the only boyfriend who got broken up because by Trump winning ruined a lot of relationships, is all I'm gonna say. I gotta explain the entire thing to you because it's even dumber.
お返しとしちゃ最高だよねこれ。さすが僕。
Don't worry, we'll get through this.
かなり余計なお世話な気もしますけどね。
My mom got involved saying he doesn't have to vote if he doesn't want to. Who? What? Wait, what? My sister got the same way with her boyfriend, like she was pissed and he wasn't voting. That he wasn't voting. Yeah. I just... like... delusion. That's basically all it is. It made many people's lives better because they got away from red flags. True. I sat down and talked to her about it. Oh, you actually had the opportunity to talk to her after. It's not like most of the time when people got broken up to because Trump won, where they just completely lost communication with the other person.
ショコラさんは嬉しそうだから、よしとしますか。
Can I VC soon? It's now the following morning, which got off to a much slower start than usual.
これでよしっと。
Mira finishes drawing up a sign stating that we'll be closed for cleaning today.
じゃあクロくん、3時くらいにおじさん来るから、そのくらいには店にいて。それ以外はどこ行っててもいいよ。ショコラさんを楽しませてあげてください。
Will do.
別に何もしなくても、ショコラは今日一日ずーっと楽しいはずだけど。
What do you mean by that?
メルさん、はーい。
I should have BRB'd when we were in media share. Yeah, you probably should have.
じゃあ僕たちは学校に。あ、その前に。
She putters over to the kiln, which hasn't been fired since yesterday, and climbs inside it. Excuse me?
あ、熱い。助けてくれ。
I'm stuck.
へへ、いつもはバッチリから人が入るなんてダメだけど、今日だけは特別なの。メルさん、今自分が何を着てるか思い出して。
You're gonna have soot covering your entire body.
うわー、制服に黒いの
She scurries up to her room to get changed.
では行ってきます。
Have a good day. I see Corey out the door and then Meru a couple minutes later. Now then, time to check on Chocolat. Good morning. He's still sleeping? It's already almost 9 o'clock, but she's still fast asleep. But that's not overly surprising. After waking up early yesterday, and all the commotion that followed, she must have been exhausted. Should I let her sleep in more? We are off today, after all. Then again, I wouldn't want it to throw off her sleep schedule too much. Just then I noticed her beginning to stir. Good morning, Chocolat.
おはようございます、クロウさん。クロウさん？
Oh right, I totally forgot she doesn't like seeing people seeing her face while she's sleeping. Oops. I was expecting more out of that scene, but sure, no, nothing. Again, I'm really sorry I was getting late. It was getting late, so I wasn't sure if you wanted me to wake you up or not.
いえ、寝坊しちゃったのは私ですから。
No drama? I wasn't looking for drama in that scene, I just wanted more embarrassed Chocolat. With bright red cheeks, she tries her best to downplay it. Darn it. This was supposed to be our fun day off together, but I've already gone and made things awkward right from the get-go.
すいません。いつまでもグーグーと。
Don't worry about it. I'm sure you were just really tired after all that commotion yesterday, right? You really went all out for us after all.
それよりどっちかというと、今日のことを思うと、昨夜遅くまで眠れなかったのがその。
Wait, what?
なんでもないです。とにかくせっかくメルがくれたお休みです。今日は目いっぱい楽しみましょう。
Agreed. Although it feels like she's forcing herself a bit, she's back to her usual bubbly self. I'll take it though. It's our precious day off together. Spending it acting awkwardly around each other would be such a waste. Ultimately, I want her to have fun today.
窯のお掃除って大事なのですね。
It sure is. We can handle clearing out the ashes every day, but when you're using it, as much as we do, a buildup of soot and debris is inevitable. If you're only using the fireplace end of it, that buildup is less of a problem, but we're using the kiln to bake cakes, commercially no less.
ちょっと湿気。
We're the bitch we need the bitch to give us entertainment. There isn't one, not in this visual novel.
暑いです。出してください。子供みたいですか？
Barrett did the same thing. I'm not going to say it wasn't.
でも楽しいです。窯の中はこんな風なんですね。
What did I miss? You missed Chocolat's sleeping face. With a childlike smile on her face, she explores the inside of the kiln. Wasn't there the bitch characters? Was there? Admittedly, I can see why both she and Meru would be amused by this. Normally, going in there would be totally off limits on account of the heat. But since it's being cleaned today, we haven't even run the fireplace since yesterday. Arya? Oh, right. Yeah, her. She exists. Yeah, I don't know where she is. I'm a little worried about her uniform getting soot on her, on her clothes. But I guess it's fine since she's in her uniform.
こんな風になってるんですね。結構広くて。ああ、お空が見えます。
Like at least in Mary's route, she showed up first VOD. That's not too surprising. The kiln is connected to our chimney after all. Most chimneys are angled at the top as a protective measure against heavy rain, but fog rolls must be straight all the way through.
なんだか涼しい空気が。ここ穴開いてます？
Yes, that's called a peephole. Kilns typically have at least 2 sources of ventilation. I need a Komachi route? Yeah. Watch your head, by the way. The ceiling isn't that high in there.
へえ。お釜っていろいろ考えて作ってあるんですね。
What a name. Yeah, definitely one of the names of all time.
お？
Is something wrong?
あ、いえ。これなんでしょう？
Let me see. Leaning my upper body into the kiln, I poke my head inside. But even though our kiln's pretty big, it's not designed to fit multiple people inside it, or people in general, really. As such, there isn't much room in here. Is something the matter?
いえ。髪がくすぐったくて。
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't quite catch what she said. Anyway, what were you looking at?
これです。
Chocolate is going to send me to sleep. Listen, that's one of the goals of my streams. Well, not the streams, just the episodes that I release. She points to the highest part of the kiln in the chamber. Specifically, she points at a perforated stainless steel lid, blackened by soot, which connects to the main chimney line.
これなんでしょう？
Looking closer, I could see that she's actually pointing at one of the holes on the lid surface. While the bright blue sky can be seen through those many holes, something's blocking one of them. It's probably just a chunk of soot or something. I'm sure the cleaner will get it later today. Actually, hang on. Upon giving it a closer look, I noticed that whatever's blocking this hole is a slightly different color from the soot surrounding it. My curiosity piqued. I pulled myself further into the kiln to investigate. I tried poking it, and it lifts into the air slightly. It feels cold and hard, like metal. Something must have fallen in from outside. I wonder what it is. Unfortunately, it's slightly bigger than the hole, so I can't get it from this side. This lid doesn't seem like it'll budge either, so here goes nothing. Left with no other immediate options, I try flicking it. Although our chimney itself isn't angled, the lid covered the kiln definitely is. Otherwise, we'd have to deal with flooding during periods of heavy rain. Luckily that peephole chocolate pointed out earlier sits right at the bottom of the incline, so whatever was blocking the lid falls right through it. Shall we go see what it is?
はい。
Is something wrong?
いえ、なんでも。パンツにすすがついちゃいました。真っ黒です。
How? We head to the backyard to see what that piece of debris was. Fortunately, it's covered in soot, which allows us to spot it in the snow pretty easily.
これは。
She changed out of her clothes quickly. A gold coin. With the side facing the inside of the kiln while the side facing the inside of the kiln had been blackened by the soot, the other side was in pretty good condition. Despite being a little dirty, its lustrous gold surface is still plenty shiny.
このエンブレムって
Design? Let me see. I give the coin in her hands a closer look, and indeed there appears to be a smaller, fairly average-looking snowflake depicted on it. I swear I've seen this design somewhere before. Chocolate studies the design with a serious look on her face. After staring at it for a few moments, she closes her palm and looks up at me.
クロウさん、この後行きたいところができました。一緒に来てくれます？
Sure. I take it she wants to look into this coin some more. Honestly, that could be a good way to spend the day. I was trying to think of something for us to do anyway, so this works out perfectly. Do you think this coin has something to do with that legend you were talking about before? With the wish-granting diamond? That story left quite the impression on me. So now that we've found an actual gold coin, of course it'd be the first thing that comes to mind. Shut up. Shut up, Dexter. Judging by the excited look on her face, I think it's safe to say I was right on the money.
まだわからないですけど、そうかもです。この金貨に書かれたエンブレム、そのお話に出てきた挿絵に書かれてた気がするです。
Oh, really?
もしかしてこれが鍵になって本当にダイヤが見つかっちゃうかも。
It's definitely encouraging. I'll admit it still sounds a little far-fetched to me, but finding this coin was apparently more than enough to spark Chocolate's childlike curiosity. Where are we going, by the way?
図書館です。私が前に調べた本があります。
Ah. If I recall correctly, on Mondays the library is... Fue's library is located right by the shopping district next to various other public offices, like Town Hall and Tax Office and the police station. There's a police station? My attention span can't keep focus on this. It's a great way to train your attention span. Yeah, because it's Monday today. As is the case with most public offices in Japan, Fue's also tend to be closed on Mondays, which includes the library. Obviously not expecting to hit a roadblock on her investigation so soon, and Chocolate is naturally saddened by this news. The bookstore should be open though.
古い本ですから多分売っては。どうしましょう。
She looks down at the coin in her hand, utterly dejected. Obviously, there's nothing stopping her from looking into this tomorrow, but even waiting that extra day, it looks like it'll be agonizing for her. Which is why I don't use all those Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. It's Ira? Yeah. Suddenly the library door opens.
あら?
Speaking of, a familiar face emerges from within.
何してるの？図書館なら今日はお休みよ。
Aria is the girl from Ars Magna. Give me something with some sauce, not a plain flavored food. You don't want to eat plain flavored food.
ですよね。
Yes, we're aware. We were just debating our options. Speaking of which, do you work at the library by any chance? Considering she just came from inside, and it's supposed to be closed today, that's the only thing I can think of.
そういうわけじゃないけど。
taking notice of the depressed look on Chocolate's face. Her lips curl into an awkward smile.
残念ね。また明日来なさい。はい。暗いわね。そんなに今日中に読みたい本でもあったわけ？
There is, actually. We found something quite interesting earlier, so we were hoping to read up on it a bit.
面白いもの？これです。
Chocolate shows her the gold coin. A brief look of surprise crosses her face.
何？これについて調べたいわけ？はい。これ。
She bursts out laughing for some reason. A moment later, she looks straight at me and... I was gonna say it has something to do with Crow. But... Yeah. I never thought I would say this. Ira might be the best girl because she the most interesting of the cast because she not circle jerking the MC. I mean, the other girls have reason to. Especially because he saved their business. Chocolate, not so much, but, you know, she's just along for the ride. Gives a smug laugh. What? You don't hear anything. God damn it. Nice music. Shut up. Listen, Ira is annoying. And the reason why she's annoying is because she knows Crow before he got amnesia. The problem is that she doesn't want to fucking tell him anything. Rank all your characters. The ranks are the same. It's literally 4 characters. I'm not ranking Ira because she doesn't have a route. All the girls, bro. Fine. You want me to rank all the girls? The ones with sprites. Number 4 is whatever her name is. Hang on, I need to look it up. Everyone with sprites? No. The girls with sprites. Yeah, Osono. There. There you go. Everyone, every girl with a sprite. Chocolate's brother could pass as girl? No, he can't. Anyway, I'm getting rid of them. Because it's back, it's fixed.
一冊だけ選びなさい。ちょっとだけ時間作ってあげるわ。What?
Arrow turns back towards the door, which has a closed sign hanging out the front of it, and opens it. On the front of it, and opens it. Given how she speaks, how she's speaking and acting, you'd almost swear she owns the place. I forgot if he doesn't. I forgot if he still doesn't recognize if it was, if she's the mayor. What's the place? What's this place?
市長の使う応接室ってところね。市役所も今日は通常業務はやってないから、今日は一日空いてる部屋よ。
Dexter, shut the fuck up.
いいんですか？
Chocolat asked sheepishly, carrying the book she'd found at the library.
長くはダメよ。でも、ちょっとだけね。
What? They didn't continue after the...
でも、ちょっとだけね。それに。
She pauses, glancing over at me, and gives another smug laugh.
誰かさんがその金貨を調べるなんて。シュールで笑えるから OK よ。
Dexter, I want you to delete every message after you said Chocolat's brother. What? I'm very confused.
ありがとうございます。
But Chocolat looks happy to be here, as I won't press the issue for now. Dexter, there's still a message you haven't deleted.
はい、一番古いのが多分これです。
There you go. Sitting on one of the couches around the coffee table, she starts flipping through the book in her hand. The fuck am I up to? But Chocolat looks happy to be here, so I won't press the issue for now. Sitting in one of the couches around the coffee table, she starts flipping through the book in her hand. Is that the one you were talking about before? And then, yeah, from what I could see, it appears to be a non-fiction book featuring illustrations and descriptions of various historical sites. In the region, it's certainly not something I'd expect to find in a bookstore. But it's a library. What? Certainly not something I'd expect to find in a bookstore. Because you didn't find it in a bookstore, you found it in a library. It looks like a fairly dense read, but she flips through it fairly quickly, only pausing whenever she reaches an illustration. She must have already memorized some of its contents. What is it, Dexter? Shut the fuck up, bro.
ありました。
Let me see. Pausing once she reaches a certain page, she points to an illustration on it. The illustration is roughly sketched on the page, in a style reminiscent of old historical journals. As for what's been depicted, it looks like a flying humanoid creature, of very perhaps, handing the diamond-shaped object to some stick figures. Notably, the diamond is emblazoned with a fairly similar snowflake emblem. In fact, it's identical to the one found in our gold coin. The diamond itself has thrown me off a bit though. For something that's supposed to be a highly valuable treasure, it just looks so cheap. No kidding. That diamond, though. Is it really the one that grants wishes? Is something funny? Ira randomly bursts out laughing for some reason, seemingly unable to hold it in. What's her deal? I mean, she's always been the inscrutable type, but it feels like she's acting especially strange today. Strange today. Eventually, she notices me and Chocolat eyeing her suspiciously.
なんでもないわ。それより何？笛吹きの谷について調べてるわけ？はい、面白そうなので。なるほど。
ショコラちゃんはこういうの好きだってガトー君に聞いてたわね。
Huh? You met Gato? Obviously.
知り合いよ。ラフィーヌーンがこの町に支店計画を出した時に真っ先に挨拶されてるわ。
その説はお世話になりました。
いえいえ、誰かさんに邪魔された今となっては意味なかったけど。
I had no idea you three knew each other. Seriously, what a surprise. I don't think they're more than acquaintances, judging by how reserved Chocolat acts around her. But either way, it's none of my business.
にしても願いを叶えるダイヤね。
アイラさん、ご存知です？
伝承は知ってるわよ。あなたよりずーっと長くここに住んでるもの。笛吹きの民がこの町の人たちに友好のために渡した永遠なる澄んだ輝きの伝承でしょ。よく知ってる。あれから何年経っても受け入れられてるんだから悪い取引ではなかったわ。なんでもない。それでその金貨に同じ模様があったからどうなるって？
そうです、そうです。
She claps her hands together excitedly, then goes back into serious mode. Ara brings up a good point, though. Even though the emblems are the same, the coin and diamond are derived from two completely different legends.
大事なのはここなのです。ほら見て、ここのお話。
Sure, let's see. She resumes flipping through the pages.
このダイヤが町の人に渡された場所というのが古いお話にはいくつか載っているのです。
へえ。
Wait, this book actually mentions where it happened? Isn't that fairly uncommon? At least when it comes to legends and folktales, I find they usually leave out the finer details in favor of a broad strokes moral or overall message. Yeah, a broad strokes moral or overall message.
お日様の出る場所や川の位置、水場、いろんなことが書かれてます。ママが言ってました。お話は歴史の生きた証人。その声をじっくり聞くことが大事だって。
あ？
伝承が正確な情報を内包していることは珍しくないわ。それに地理的、風土的事実を噛み合わせて逆算するのが現在ある歴史学の基礎よ。ほら、トロイア遺跡とか昔話を追っていて発掘された遺跡だって世界には珍しくないわよ。
I suppose that's true. I'm still not totally convinced about ours, though.
ただ、その場所の情報が分かっても起点となる場所が分からなくちゃ意味がないです。でもこの金貨、とても古いものです。多分このお話が書かれた時代の。
That's certainly possible, seeing as the emblems match.
昔の家って家内安全のために家を建てるとき資材を埋め込む風習がありますよね。
確かに伝統の資産や家財道具を家の一部にしちゃう風習は世界中にあるわね。
この金貨、多分フォルクロールの家が建てられたとき埋め込まれたものです。煙突の部分にあって何かの拍子に落ちちゃったのかと。
ちょっと強引じゃないかしら。
でなきゃ煙突の中に落ちてた意味が分かりません。窯の中からは入りようがないですし。
Even if it got in through the peephole somehow, it couldn't have made it to the top of, Even if it got in through the peephole somehow, it couldn't have made it on top of the kiln, which is where we found it.
まあそれは確かに。他にも入る口はあると思うけどね。ほら、空飛ぶ妖精さんが上から投げ入れたとか。
それならお手上げですが。
冗談よ。
Boy, she must be really good. Must be in a really good mood today or something. Normally she'd never make jokes like that. Anyway, whether the coin was built into the chimney or not, Folkroll is indeed a very old building.
この町で煙突のある家は珍しいからね。あの店のある区画ではフォルクロール一軒だったかしら。
As we learned from Gateau a few weeks ago, these days Foya actively avoids constructing homes with straight chimneys on account of the snowy climate. Looking at another way, our house was likely built before such things were considered. It's still too early to be certain about it, but it's still too early to be certain about it, to be sure, but
フォルクロールがひいてはあの区画がこのお話の時代に作られていたと考えると、そこから位置情報が逆算できるのです。ワクワクしてきました。なんだか本当に宝物が見つかりそうです。
Ever the curious girl, the prospect of a treasure hunt causes her eyes to light up with excitement.
見つかったらぜひ教えてちょうだい。
You heard her say waku waku and you immediately go to Anya.
その本、貸し出しにしてあげるわ。今日は持って帰っていいわよ。
いいんですか？
昨日借りたものとして手続きしておいてあげる。レンタルは2週間だから、次の日曜には返すにしろ延長にしろ図書館に持ってくること。再来週の月曜じゃダメよ。はい、
ありがとうございます。
She's in an especially cooperative mood today. When I woke up this morning, I had no idea what we were going to do today. But honestly, it turned out to be quite productive in the end.
この金貨が落ちてきた場所、ここがもしフォルクロールの、つまり2丁目の住宅街だとしたら。
Even after we left the library, Chocolat never stopped mumbling various theories to herself. Not that I mind. I'm just glad she's having fun. Thanks again for coming. It's all yours.
Hey.
It's currently 3 p.m. and the chimney sweeper showed up right on time.
煙突の中に何かあったら持ってきてください。お願いします。
はあ。何かとは？
金貨？
はい。
Okay, maybe she's a tad overexcited about this, but I think it's charming personally. So, have you learned anything new?
場所が特定できるかもです。少なくとも願いの叶うダイヤに関係ある場所が。本当にそこにあったら、クロウさんも期待しててください。願いの叶うダイヤで記憶喪失も直しちゃいますよ。
That'd be nice. Leaving aside all that wish granting stuff, I can see why she's so excited about this. Anyone would be. given the circumstances. Even if this legend had nothing to do with fairies or diamonds or whatnot, investigating it is still exciting. Regardless of what lies at the end of this trail, I hope it gives us some satisfying answers. That's all I want. Oh, speaking of which, do you have one for yourself too?
What?
A wish. Do you have one? Is there anything you'd wish for? If you find that diamond? Or, other than to restore my memory, I mean. In my case, I only found out that this legend after I'd already lost my memory. But for Chocolat, she'd definitely learned about it before she'd met me. Suddenly she thought of a wish for herself before then. Surely she thought of a wish for herself before then, right? She looks up from her book.
そうですね。
Then with a single furrowed brow, she continues.
一つだけ。
She laughs, tried to cover up her embarrassment. Given how she's acting, I don't think she wants to tell me what that wish is. I'll admit I'm still a little curious about it. But if she really doesn't want to share it, I won't press her to tell me.
こんにちは。
Just then, Komachi walks in, interrupting our conversation. Good afternoon. I'm not sure if you saw the sign, but we're...
お休みですよね。朝からどうしたんだろうって思ってたんです。そしたら煙突を掃除してるのが見えて、お店のオーバーホールの日だったんですね。
That's right. So I'm sorry, but we don't have any cake today. Especially not your favorites.
だから知ってますって。小町が来たらいつも甘いものをねだってると思うのはやめてください。
Are you sure?
違います？違います今日は差し入れをおばあちゃんからいいぶどうが取れたからって。
Oh, wow. Thank you. She hands me a basket full of assorted fruits.
結局甘いものが出てきました。
Apparently.
帰ります。
Oh, wait, come back. We're only kidding.
どれも美味しそうです。もう
In Chocolate's impish smile, Komachi puffs up her cheeks in a display of playful anger. These two are as friendly as ever. As I'm immersed in such thoughts, Komachi suddenly speaks up.
そうそう、ショコラちゃん。ショコラちゃんって確か名字はネイジュよね。
And out of nowhere, she changes the subject.
はい、ショコラネイジュです。じゃあパルファンさんって方ご存知ないかしら。パルファンネイジュさん。
Who? I've never heard of that name before. I do have an inkling as to who it could be, however.
今度この町で一般向けの講演をするっていう偉い歴史学の先生なんです。
A famous historian who shares Chocolate's last name. I can think of only one person who fits that description.
講演やるんですか？ええ。聞いてなかったです。
He slumps her shoulders. So that pretty much decides it. That's your mother, isn't it?
はい。ああ、やっぱり。 美人でショコラちゃんそっくりだと思ったの。ちょっと電話いいです？
Sure. Despite how happy she seemed since coming home with that book, her expression darkens considerably as she heads toward the phone. That isn't to say she appears especially upset by the news of her mother coming to town. No, if anything, she looks bewildered.
もしもし、お兄ちゃん？
ショコラか？どうした？またフォルクロールか？
はい。ですね、ママのことですが。はい。お兄ちゃんも知らないんですか？
この街で講演会なんてやるのか。わかった。今から本人に聞いてみる。今、いつも通り伝え忘れたんだろうな。
ですね。
With each passing moment, her bewilderment is replaced with an ever-growing sense of resignation. This isn't good, is it?
確認しました。確かにうちのママみたいです。公園、友達と一緒に行くつもりだったけど、予約入れておいてよかったわ。もちろんショコラちゃんも行くんでしょ？まあ、行くかもです。
She forces out a half-hearted response.
へえ、ショコラのお母さんが1ヶ月後ですか？はい。どんな人なんだろう、楽しみ。パルファンネージュ教授なら前に写真か何かでとても綺麗な方ですよね。どうも。
Clearly, Chocolate isn't overly comfortable discussing her mother. Despite this, even after Komachi left and the other two girls came home, the topic still naturally came up.
お母さんに会うの久しぶりじゃないショコラ。いっぱい甘えちゃったら？そんなことは。あまり甘えさせてくれる人じゃないので。
I see what's going on here. I don't think Chocolate has a bad relationship with her mother per se, but given the look on her face, it certainly doesn't seem like a smooth one. Even Corey seems to have picked up on this, evidenced by the look of concern on her face.
せっかく会うのですから、何かプレゼントなんかを用意するのはどうでしょう？プレゼント？話の取っかかりにもなるし、いいと思います。この店からおすすめするのはやはりケーキでしょうか？ああ、いいねそれ。ショコラも得意なんだしさ、ケーキでも作って持っていったら？お母さんきっと喜ぶよ。プレゼント。いいかも、喜ぶかもです。
Her expression finally brightens. A present, huh? And not just any present, a homemade cake from Chocolate. That sounds like a pretty solid gift, all things considered. Not long after that, the Chocolate approached me with an unexpected proposal.
クロウさん、お暇な時でいいので手伝ってほしいことあります。
Have to spice up the plain food. Yeah.
ママへのプレゼントのことで。
Of course, I'd be happy to help. I thought she was asking for me, asking for my help with the cake, so I didn't hesitate at all to say yes. However,
ありがとうございます。助かります。ダイヤを探すのとっても難しいけど、クロウさんがいてくれればママが来る前になんとか。
wait, what?
でも街に伝わるダイヤなんて見つけたらママきっとすごく喜んでくれるです。
Oh, that's what you were going to give. That's what you were going to give her. I definitely thought she was going to bake her a cake.
はい、ダイヤかでなくてもこの街の歴史を紐解いてママに教えてあげるです。
I see. So, just to be clear, you don't want to give her a cake like Corey suggested?
ケーキはママあんまり食べることに興味ないみたいで。
The box would be quite low.
もちろん美味しいのが嫌いというわけでは。クロウさんの美味しいケーキを送ったらきっと喜んでくれるです。でも話をするなら歴史のことが一番ですかね。
I can't say I was expecting to hear that. Does your mother like history that much? I've heard the term history buff before, but her mother must truly be obsessed.
はい、人生かけて各地を飛び回ってます。もともとラフィヌーンの経営を継ぐようクランバから言われてたのですが、歴史の探査ができないから嫌だって家を出たくらいです。今はパパが経営に入って落ち着いてますけど、研究以外は全然興味ないですね。
She's that committed to it, huh? I wasn't expecting her mother to be such a passionate person.
みんなからは好奇心の塊だと言われます。
Like mother, like daughter, I guess.
昔からほとんどお話できたことないです。私がママの話についていけなくて。でもこの町の歴史を私が独学で解いたらこれとてもすごいことです。ママも喜んでくれます。
You said she'll be here in a month. You said she'll be here in a month, right?
はい。
So basically, we have to somehow prove that this town's legends were in one way or another based in reality. That won't be easy. The gold coin we found is helpful to our case, but yeah, our case, sure, but it's not nearly enough to move the needle. As it stands, we're still firmly entrenched in folklore territory. Question? What is it? Considering it another way, it's essentially like we're reading Cinderella and deciding to go looking for her glass slipper. That's where we're at right now.
よーし、やるぞー。
Dexter, do you not... When a girl is having her period, does that mean she's currently fertile? Our odds aren't looking good.
クロウさんが手伝ってくれれば100人力です。
But Chocolat wastes no time in getting excited. Well, because I may have increased those odds a few percent.
うございます、クロウさん。
Holy, it took that long to get her CG. Yes or no, it's simple, right? Have you never... No, why... Of course not. You were never taught sex ed, right? Let me show you. How do I show this? I live with mostly girls in my family. Okay, and show you. Yeah, I need to show you the graph. I just need to make sure it's a graph that I can show without, you know, potentially getting banned. What do you mean blushes? That's it. This is a good graph, but it shows the bits. I don't want it to show the bits. DM it to me, but it's not funny if I do that. This works. Or censor it manually. I don't think you understand. It shows it multiple times. But I found a graph that works. I can use this one. So, let's learn about the menstruation cycle, shall we? It's educational, Twitch. So, periods. They happen around the start of the menstruation cycle, which is around the 3 to 7 days period. The hormone level. So the menstruation, the rest of them are phase, but this one also is also a phase. Hormone levels can decrease during menstruation, resulting in symptoms such as cramps, breast tenderness, irritability, and fatigue. Those happen during a period. That's what a period is. It's only one part of the menstruation cycle. But if you're saying, are they fertile when they have their period? The answer, the quick answer is yes. That is when it starts. And then after the 3 to 7 days, it goes. It's a whole 14-day thing, but it's a follicular phase. During the follicular phase after menstruation, many women report feeling their best and may even have more energy. That's the quote-unquote heat moment. That's their quote-unquote in heat, right? That's when they're horniest. Is these 14 days. And then there's ovulation, 24 days. Certain hormones rise to peak levels, resulting in heightened sex drive. Women may also report discomfort, breast tenderness, or bloating. This ovulation period is kind of the last 24 hours. It's the last day of the ovulation period. Before that, up until then is when they're fertile. And then the luteal phase sensitivity to changing hormone levels can result in a wide variety of symptoms, including blah blah blah. This is when they aren't fertile. Dexter, I thought you watched me play. I thought you watched me play through Magical Marriage Lunatics. Karen literally has this whole thing of making sure that you don't, of making sure you can have sex, of making sure that Yuta has sex with her when she isn't, when she's in this phase, her last phase. Did you not watch me play through Karen's route? It's a whole thing there of being off her cycle, essentially. She doesn't say off her cycle because they don't really talk about periods, obviously. But the other where we fucking fox, yeah. But these are what are considered safe days. Right? These 14 days, it varies between person to person, but these are considered safe days. Give or take 7 days. Because here's the thing. The whole 7 days is when they're safe, but it's really the luteal phase is really only, what is it? It's really only 7 days. It's half this. Because, so it feels best at the start. Do males have something similar? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? Oh, also, it doesn't feel the best at the start. It feels best halfway through. It feels the worst at the start. That's what the period is. It feels the best after a few days after they've had their period. That's what the follicular phase is, specifically. But the luteal phase, essentially, it's their safe days is essentially only 7 days. It's only half this because sperm can last up to 7 days in the vagina before it dies. You get it? So what's period sex? So, just because people are having periods doesn't mean they aren't horny. Because it's during their menstruation cycle, when they are ovulating, when they are fertile. So regardless of the fact that they're having periods and they having their period and it hurts because they're having cramps and the fuck and whatever the fuck, they will still be horny sometimes. Like I said, it's a case by case basis. Having sex while it is bleeding. Yes, that happens. I don't know what you're confused about. Are hymens real? Yes, hymens are real. What do you mean? Dexter, we talked about this before. We talked about hymens before, and how people back in the day would test if a woman was loyal or not based on if they still had their hymen, based off if they were pure or not, if they still had their hymen. That's why it bleeds when they first stick it in. Yeah. Do males have something similar? No, bro. We can impregnate a woman anytime we want. It's just dependent on their cycle. Can you see if a girl has a hymen? You can check with with objects. Not you can't physically see it unless it's like it's a scan of the a flashlight. Shut up. Doctor can see it, yeah. So what about nymphos? What about nymphos? Dexter, just because a woman isn't ovulating doesn't mean they can't be horny. But what's the difference there? Well, the difference is that they're constantly horny. What do you mean? It doesn't. That doesn't mean they're constantly ovulating. That doesn't mean they're constantly fertile. Although there are short safe days. They get crazier during the pink cycle. So let's go with that. Nymphomaniacs are already an anomaly. I don't think we need to. Are already an outlier. I don't think we need to get into it. Why are you bringing this up? You don't talk to women. Can you teach me? I think you have sisters who can do that for you. About nymphos? No. Either way, that's enough of SST. We're going back to just chatting because I'm ending stream off for today. I'm ending stream off for today. Look at that, 3. Holy shit, that's a record. And males be nymphos? Yes! What? What made you think they couldn't? You know what? Fuck it. To get out of talking about this shit, I'm just gonna do my squats and then end stream. And because I got only 3, I've only said... Because I've only said 3 filler words... Filler words... I would have been okay with doing 10 if I only had 2. Hold on. What do you mean, hold on? I'm doing 15. What am I doing with the chatbots? Waiting. You're waiting. I'm... 3 squats is too short. Right? Too little. So, times 5 it. 15. Even though 15 is a lot more than I have done before. With even the first day I did this, it was like I think the most I've had to do was 10 or so. So I'm doing more because 3 is too little. Whatever. I can still post new ones, right? Or try to. You can try to. If they still get, if they still don't go public, yeah, you just wait. But 15. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shut up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Bro, shut the fuck up. You know the worst part about this? Not the squats. The worst part about me doing this is that ever since I started doing this challenge, anytime anyone ever says or I pick that, I notice it immediately. I'm like, God fucking damn it. I didn't realize how many times my favorite content creators say and like, fuck off. Like anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, a follow would be appreciated. If you want to support me even further, you could always subscribe. But yeah, tomorrow I'll be playing more SST. Hopefully, I won't have to talk about women's reproductive systems, because I'm not one. I'm not one of them. But anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye bye.